but it wouldn't be bad if he was. He's running for governor. Peter, it's all yours.
Thank you, I appreciate it. The chair was talking about the important people in the room. I'm going to tell you a little story before I start. Somebody came into my office a few years back and said, I want to meet the mayor and nobody lower than the mayor. And I said, I am the mayor and there is nobody lower than me. So, so thank you for elevating me in status. And I've never been known as a great speaker either, but and I'm a sort of a meat and potatoes guy, and I can tell you I'll be a better governor than somebody running for governor and giving speeches. I want to ask you a question. Why do you live in Utah? Some of you may have been born here. Some of you may have moved here. It's home. It is. It's my home as well. And I'll tell you why I live here. I live in Utah because it's a place where I can raise my family. I think it's a great place to raise my family. It's got a great pioneering spirit. It's got great values and people with great values as well. And an area where people focus on family, and family is important to people. But as I travel around this state, I see people are concerned. They're concerned about what they're seeing and concerned about the direction this state is headed. They want us to get back to basics. They want us to focus on education. They want us to focus on the economy and jobs. They want us to focus on our air quality and our water quality and overall quality of life as we grow as a state. And I've seen what I call the tale of two cities. I hear myths. And if you watch the legislative session this year, we heard about the message bills from Representative Gallons. And I think our legislature did everything but focus on what was important and what was basic. I shouldn't say everything, but a lot of the message bills overtook what was important to our citizens. And they didn't put the economy and jobs as the number one priority. And at the same time, the truth is we have the highest unemployment rate we've seen in 25 years. I was reading the paper yesterday. We have food stamp rate has gone up 87%, I think it was, and 27% increase for seniors seeking food stamps. We see our friends and family members losing their jobs. I have a good friend of mine. He lost a job about a year ago. He finally found a job a month or so ago, but it wasn't here in Utah, it was in California. And so he had to uproot his family, his young children, he had to take them out of their school. He's trying to sell his home now, and he doesn't want to leave, but he had to leave to find work. And that's not what we want to see in the state of Utah. The solution, I think, is, first of all, we need to support our local homegrown businesses here in Utah. 70 to 80% of our economic development in this state is from our local businesses, the ones that were started here. Economic development is not about just giving money to big companies to move to Utah. It's about our homegrown businesses here. And I think we need to focus on the core businesses, the businesses that we do well here in Utah, which is technology, energy, tourism, agriculture, aerospace, military. I think those are core businesses that we've done well in and we can focus on in the past. And then I think we need to focus on retraining workers. Workers who have lost their jobs, let's retrain them and put them into industries where they are training. I met recently with the Utah Technology Council Chair, Rich Nelson. He said right now there are about 1,000 jobs that we have here in Utah that are unfilled. They're technology jobs, science jobs, because we don't have students who have been trained in those fields who can fill those jobs. And that's not what we want to see. And we want a strong education system so our young people can stay in this state and find jobs. Myth number 2 that I saw at our legislature was that there were no cuts in the education budget. Our education budget was made whole. Well, that wasn't the case. The education budgets were cut. Matter of fact, hundreds of millions of dollars have been taken out of our education budget over the last few years. And at the same time, we have new students coming into our education. K to 12, we have 11,000 new students coming into our education system. We have the lowest per pupil funding, and we're lower by 20% to the next lowest state. Our graduation rates, while they may be staying fairly strong, they're falling behind the national average. Other states are moving behind us, so we fall 6 or 7 points in our graduation rates. And I have seen the same thing in our higher education system. Our higher ed budget was cut 13% this year, and at the same time we have 13,000 new students coming into our higher education system. I was recently up in Logan, met two young women from Utah State University. They had recently lost their scholarships due to budget cuts. They didn't know what they were going to do. They couldn't continue their education. I don't think that's something that we should accept as a state, and it's certainly not going to help us in our future. So our solutions, first of all, we need an investment strategy for our education system. As we get 20,000 or more new students every year in our education system, we need to figure out how we're going to fund that. And it's not all about money. We can have a better use of technology as well in our education system, have more parental involvement in our education system, focus on early childhood education, which is important, and having mentoring programs for our teachers to make them better in the subjects that they teach, and then strengthen our curriculum and include the business community so we have students who are ready for the jobs that are here today and the jobs of tomorrow as well. Myth number 3 is that our state leaders have been focusing on how we're going to grow as a state, and I certainly haven't seen that. The truth is we have the worst air quality in the nation during the winter time. This January we had 5 cities in Utah out of the top 10 worst air quality cities in the nation. I don't think that's something we want to see. I don't think we want to see us giving away our water. In the West Desert, I've been sitting on a committee, and our state of Utah is negotiating to give away 85% of the remaining water in the Snake Valley Aquifer. I don't think that's going to be a good decision for our future. And we're losing clean energy jobs to other states. In this state of Utah, we've got great natural resources like coal and natural gas and oil, and we need to make sure we continue supporting those industries. But we also have the ability to create new jobs in the renewable energy economy. And I think every time we turn on the lights in our house or turn on the keys to our car, that energy can come from the state of Utah, and we can expand our energy economy by focusing on wind and sun and geothermal energy and biomass energy, and really create jobs in our rural area, especially where those jobs can be created there, and yet we can help improve our air quality and water quality here in some of the urban areas as well. So I think it's time to dispel a lot of those myths that we've seen out there, time to tell the truth, and time to show people that the Utah Democratic Party represents the values of all Utahns. And that's why I'm running for governor. And I'm also running for governor because I think we need some balance in this state. I think we need an independent voice who will stand up and say, yes, this is what the citizens believe in, and this is what we're going to focus on as a state, not the message bills that we saw up at the legislature this year. And so I need your support. I ask for your support tonight. I ask for your support over the next 6.5 months. We can change the balance of this state. We can have real ethics reform, and we can have independent redistricting by changing one seat at our state government, and that's the governor's race. And again, I'm Peter Corroon. I'm running for governor, and I'd love to have your support, not only November 3rd, but also today and for the next 6.5 months. So thank you for allowing me to speak, and appreciate your support.